Hey guys, so it's been weird, just kind of like slow weeks. Um, I feel like I think I've almost forgotten what it's like to essentially be operating under like high temperatures. Like it's so weird, but like I just sleep so much nowadays, and it makes me so angry because I just think about how I could get so much more done in a day, and like it almost just feels like I'm wasting my day, and that just kind of makes me angry. But I can't help not falling asleep. Like it's almost like a biological need. Like I'll sit on the couch and I'll try to get stuff done, and before I know it, I just start dozing away. So, but yeah, just I've been, as I mentioned, really been trying to get better at programming. Trying to work on my website, and then also working on my app, like my Android app that I mentioned, the accounting app. Um, yeah, it's pretty interesting how it's compared to like any other programming language. Like there's like a base amount of um, like there is like sequential steps of things you need to know, right, for programming. So for example, variables, functions, and loops, and all that. But like when it comes to like things like app development, like it almost feels like if there is no real that doesn't really exist. Like it's almost like here is everything that the Android or the SDK can do, and here's everything that you can do through it. So that's been kind of a challenge. So at first, I thought about just going on YouTube and trying to figure out how to do every single particular thing that I was trying to cover. And then upon doing that, it's like it's kind of like when you realize. So when you first start out something, you learn, you get some kind of knowledge on it, and you get better and better, and you start feeling like you know a lot. But then, like once you try to do something else, and you read up into it, you start realizing that there's so much you don't know. And it's like the more and more that you realize how much you don't know, the more and more you get overwhelmed. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm always like, is there even a point? Like I feel like I'll just never be as good as I'd like to be. And on some level, it kind of sucks because I don't know. It's just a little frustrating, overwhelming. But maybe it's just like a small rationalization against putting in the work. So I've been trying not to really focus too much on that. But I started reading this Android development book, and it's just kind of breaking things down. And I kind of like it because it's easy to read. And um, it's like a lot of this. Right now, I'm at the point where like we're talking about just like text and like layout and width, orientation, stuff like that. And I almost kind of just keep wanting to like skip through the book, but then a part of me is like, don't do it. You just never know. You never know when something will come up. So I'm like trying really hard just to like push myself through and read the book. And I don't know, it's just been, uh, I guess, a little challenging because of parts I just get bored. And I'm like, this is so redundant. I feel like I already know this. But then another part of me is like, it's cool because then I'm almost getting like, here is the checklist of things you should always do when you build your app. So it's like either or. But I really want to be able to knock this out, and then work. Maybe it gives me more insight on building the app, and then maybe build another one and then actually not build another one, but then once I build this Android one, um, replicate it using iOS, so that way I'll work on both mobile device systems. So that's my plan. Um, Also, uh, I've been trying to get better at building or using JavaScript. So I've been following the Free Code Camp front end development coursework, and I'm at the algorithm section, and I kind of just got frustrated because like it made me really reveal how much I actually really didn't know much about JavaScript. Like all this time, I've been somehow like getting code to work, but then now when it comes to running algorithm, it's almost like there's just like a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really know about JavaScript. That's kind of frustrating. So, um, what I've been doing, I kind of said fuck it, and then I actually found um, a book. So like it's like learn JavaScript, PHP, and some other languages. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Um, Also, just been watching a lot of tutorials on MySQL and SQL, and then so I kind of just want to just get like a brief Reader's Digest because I also have a book on it. So I was going to actually take database programming last semester, but I ended up dropping it. But nevertheless, I still kept the book that the class was going to use. It's database systems design, implementation, and management. So I was gonna before I start reading that, I figured I might like actually just get a little Reader's Digest. So I get a visual representation of like some of the concepts I'm most likely going to be encountering, so that way the words don't like overwhelm me. Well, I'm already familiar with it. So yeah, as you can tell, been full on diving into the nerds. It's fun. And then Game of Thrones started yesterday. I was like, ah, yes, Dad. How about that GOT? That was a great way to start the season. I won't ruin it for anyone, just in case someone hasn't seen it that's watching this, but it's really awesome. Highly recommend it. So, and then, also I've still been waking up early, but not really been doing much. But then, I started just doing cardio. So, around like 11 or 12 or so. Because I like extreme conditions, as I mentioned before. I don't know why. I think I'm just crazy or weird. But, so I just like running when it's hot outside. So I just wait until 12 and just go for like a 2 or 3 mile jog and then sprint the last bit to the door. And it's been going pretty well doing that for 4 days a week. So my life is just like this and like that now. Not really much to report. But yeah, it's a lot of programming. I feel like if I can get better at that, then like I actually really I enjoy using C++, and like I feel like knowing that would be really useful, especially with all the latest technologies. Like I mentioned the last vlog, just a lot of things that are built on that language, that and then like um, Java. So not only is just Android development, but there's a lot of Java-based applications. So that's also really useful. And then obviously web development. But since there's such a plethora of tools on it, understanding how or being able to use how be able to use CSS and maybe some slight Java, but mainly if you can pick up like PHP, like a server-based language, that's in huge demand because there's just so many things that run with PHP, things that like require a connection with the backend of a website to a database. So if I can, my goal is if I can just get better at those particular languages, then like I'll just be in a much better position for the future, right? That's really what I've been focusing on. I know I just kind of rambled. I don't even know if I provided any value with this vlog today, but I hope you guys get something out of this. Anyways, gotta let you guys go. Alright, as always, swag fuck out.
Super Mario. T.